thanks to the supporters of channel member Paul Thomas. Well, by the end of this episode, we'll either be well and truly back in a title race or miles off and struggling to cling on to a playoff spot. And welcome to part 88 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are in third and we face the teams in second and first. That's what I call an episode, boys and girls. First up, we're away against second place Accrington Stanley. We're 3 points behind them, but with a better goal difference. So beat them, we will move above them. We're then at home against Chester, who are 7 points clear of us with a better goal difference and a game in hand. They're a little bit harder to catch. However, if we win both of these matches, we're properly in this with, what will that be, 11 games to go? We'll be in a title race. So I'd like to be in a title race, please. We have done a little bit of transfer business since the last episode. I think we'd sold Stepney Damon in the last episode and we're on the verge of Evan Rowlands leaving. So he's gone to Reading for £19,000 and is being paid £900 a week to be their backup. For context, he was previously our backup. That's madness, absolute madness. And we've just replaced him with somebody who was much cheaper, Sean Lehane, on a non-contract emergency backup. If we have to use him, we'll have to pay him £110, but hopefully we won't have to use him. That's the plan. The other news is we're on a long unbeaten run in the league. We haven't lost a league game since we lost to Wigan, who were top of the table at the time, back in November. However, we are drawing an awful lot of football matches. If we look back over our last, 10 matches, we've only actually won 4 of them. 6 of them have been draws. Somehow, despite dropping all those points, we're still not a million miles away from those above us. So clearly they're doing similar things. Wigan, who were above us before, are now below us. And Chester, who when they knocked us out of the FA Cup, were below us in the league, are now well clear. So it seems to very much go in waves of who's in form. Nobody stays there for very long. Wouldn't it be nice if we could now be the form team in the last quarter of the season and go and get ourselves promotion? That would be super duper. This is the team we're going to be sending out there to try and do it. It's Perini in goal, a back four of Hayball, Yoshihama, Wiles and Bateup, Murray at the base of the midfield, Kenny and Edgar ahead of him, Scowen on the left, Kelleher on the right, Brown up front. This time it's Scanlon who's off on his little holidays and will probably miss both matches, actually. This is not the time for him to be away on his holiday. He might be back for Chester. We might call him back for Chester, actually. He's probably had long enough. In fact, can we recall him to training? I don't think we can when he's on a holiday. That's not ideal. So he's on holiday regardless. Let's go beat Accrington Stanley. Easy peasy, right? We haven't lost forever. So at the very least, let's not lose to them. Like I said in the intro, if we lost both of these matches, we can certainly kiss any hopes of automatic promotion behind, and we potentially get ourselves into a little bit of a pickle depending on other results of teams behind us being able to start catching us up. And the last thing we want to do after a very, very good season is drop out of the playoffs altogether, because, you know, in the playoffs, especially if we're hard to beat, if we're in the playoffs, there's always a chance. We're not cursed in the playoffs anymore, so the playoffs aren't a problem. Potentially, we'd obviously rather go up automatically, but as we're now losing to Accrington Stanley, that becomes a little bit less likely. First highlight of the game, they've scored and they've passed around us as if we're not there. They're playing like prime Brazil here. This is unacceptable. We weren't able to get near them there. They've just one touch passed it around us and very much ruined my day. I don't really know how to respond to that because we've barely had the ball. Is it time to wheel out the Gegenpress? We did, after using it in the last episode, did start it in a couple of matches, and that's where our run of draws began, and also everyone got shattered almost immediately, so we've used it very, very sparingly since, and we might be having to wheel it out again today, because at the moment, Wigan beating Salford are jumping above us in the league, Shrewsbury beating Worthing are also jumping above us in the league, and this is what I'm talking about. If we lose these games and other results go against us, we start to fall well off the pace. So I think second half in this match, Callum Larkin's coming on, and we are going to go to the 4-2-4 Gegenpress. So if we jump in here and pick the one that we want, which is this one, I think we keep Edgar on. I think we put Edgar out there, and we'd probably go, it's going to be Scowen, I think, who misses out here. It hurts me to take Scowen off in this kind of situation, but I think for once he is the obvious one to take off. First we had a baby crying, now we've got a lawnmower. Am I not allowed to make videos without background noise? It's 28 degrees in my office. I've got to shut the window again. Tell you what, boys and girls, cannot wait to move house. I won't be on a through road anymore. Goodness me. Right, now we've made the changes. We're going to go attacking. We've shut the window, so I'm going to start sweating like nobody's business. But we've got 2 strikers on. We're gegenpressing. Let's go do a football. What could possibly go wrong? Interestingly, Accrington have made 2 changes at half-time. So what are they up to? Have they guessed what I was going to do and countered me somehow? That feels like the in-game AI cheating a little bit, because it couldn't possibly have known what I was going to do. This is only, I think, the 3rd time this season we've switched to a 4-2-4 gegenpress at half-time. It's not well known in my playbook. So if they've somehow countered it, I'm going to be very cross, because there's no way the game should have been able to. At least not until it saw what I did, which it hadn't, because we all made our substitutions at half-time. I need to see what they've done tactically, so I can call shenanigans if shenanigans need to be called. There is a lawnmower right outside my window now. It's not cutting my grass. I don't know what they're doing. They're literally walking on the pavement, running a lawnmower. I live in a zoo. It's ridiculous. Right, let's demand more. Can everyone be quiet? My goodness me. Right. What's going on the other side of that window is distracting me so much that we might be about to fall out of the title race. You look at Accrington getting themselves right back in the mix. That should have been us. We've switched to this system and we've not done anything. We're creating absolutely nothing. We don't really have another attacking change to make. I guess Young, but there's no one I'd want to take off to bring Young on for, really. I guess the one thing we could do is bring him on the left and stick Edgar in behind the guys up top, and maybe go to a back 3 and just throw men forward. It is very much bordering on tactical shenanigans, but if we take off Hayball, bring on Young and do this, Bait Up can play as a centre back, so we can stick Yoshihama in the middle as the covering defender. He can play there as a normal defender. We could even play him as a wide centre-back. Why not? And, I mean, no one could suggest we're not going for it. And then we've got fullbacks to bring on if we happen to score 2 quick goals and need to back off a little bit. But we're going for it. We want at least the draw. We want to at least create something. We've got an XG of 0.28. How is that a thing that is happening? Can somebody do something? We've done all these changes. We've not had an attacking highlight. Very attacking then. I mean, we've got 2 defensive midfielders and a left back. Or really, a centre-back, a left back and a defensive midfielder. I mean, what do? We could take off Murray, bring on Robinson. It changes almost nothing. I'm going to bring Robinson on, actually, because if we do have to drop back, at least Robinson can slot in at left back. We're covering ourselves just in case we do score, but it seems so unlikely that we will. I'm going to berate them as soon as I can, because they're creating nothing. We've just not really turned up. Accrington have absolutely cancelled us out. We've had 2 shots on target in the entire match and barely had a highlight. We're down to 5th. And what's made it even worse is I think Chester have lost, because we're still only 7 points behind them. Were Chester playing tonight? Did Chester play? Chester lost at home to Harrogate, so we really would have been back in the mix. I guess the positive is we kind of can put ourselves back in the mix. If we now beat Chester, we're only 4 points behind them. Maybe we're not out of this yet. We must win the next game, though. So we weren't able to get Scanlon back from his holiday. He returns tomorrow. Oh. Can't we just move his flight forward? So Scowen continues on the left-hand side. Towner Folks comes back in at left back. This is must win. Must win. So if we could win, that'd be super. Like I say, it's 4 wins from 11 now. It's mad that we're still within touching distance of promotion off the back of a run like that, but it's a strange league this year, boys and girls, and I feel like there's not going to be an opportunity like this for a little while, because usually you get teams running away with it and dominating it. Maybe sometimes you even get 2 or 3 up there way ahead of the pack. We are very much one of 7 or 8 teams that could still very easily get promoted out of this league. I mean, realistically, when you factor in the playoffs, everyone down to like Dagenham and Redbridge in the bottom half will be looking at that league table thinking, it's not over. It's a weird season. But can we please do a goal? No, apparently, because we're not getting an attacking highlight again. If we go through an entire match, an entire episode without looking like attacking, I don't even know what to say to that. That's madness. Because it's not that we've been in terrible form. Yes, we're not winning very often, but we also hadn't lost for 3 months going into that last match. We are quite good going forward normally. I mean, we lost. It was a tight game in the last match. If we hadn't have done the silliness, it would have just been a tight 1-0. But we try and threw ourselves back into it with a bit of silliness. But once again, we're not creating anything. What's going on? Do we switch to the Gegenpress again? We probably shouldn't. It hasn't really been that effective. It worked once, really, in that game against Northampton, so it was beautiful. But the fact that I have to keep sending everyone on holiday shows just how shattered the boys are anyway. They can't do it. They don't have the energy. They don't have the oomph in the tank. Accrington winning 2-1 now away against Boreham Wood means if we do find a result here, I think Accrington go top of the league. In fact, they're top of the league as it stands now anyway. There's been so many different teams top of the league over the course of this season. Like I say, tis a mad one. But can we do a goal, please? We're offering encouragement. Maybe we'll stop yelling at them. Maybe encouragement is a thing that is needed. Come on, boys. It'd be jolly nice if you could do a goal for me, please. No? Brilliant. So they don't like me being nice, clearly. They don't like my Winnie the Pooh voice. Oh, I'm not supposed to laugh as we're conceding a goal. Imagine if I'm glad this isn't on telly. The camera cuts to me just as we're scoring and I'm there doing a silly voice and then giggling to myself. I think I'd probably get sacked on the spot, wouldn't I? Maybe it's for the best that I'm stuck in non-league forever. Right, we're looking for the immediate reply here. Kelleher cuts it back to Kenny. If we can just score here, that'd be super. This is the first attack we've seen in the entire episode. Murray plays it all the way back into our half. I was enjoying attacking just for a minute there. Right, Kenny, back to Wiles again. It's going to go back to the keeper in a minute, isn't it? Yoshihama has got a little bit of space. Murray gives it back to him, and now Kenny. Can he find anyone in the attack? No, but he's going to get another attempt at it. Somebody cross the football, for goodness sake. Will you cross the ball? Or score? No, just, I don't know why we don't cross anymore. I used to love it when we used to cross. Those were the days. We're going attacking. I think we have to wheel the Gegenpress out, even though it's not really been working. The problem is, of course, Brown's only fit to play another 10 minutes or so. So I think we're going to take him off now and we're going to try this one. We've never actually used this one, but it does keep Edgar on the pitch in a position that's strong for him. We can get Larkin on up front, continue to be attacking, and we'll try that. What we will do is just make sure that the fullbacks get involved a little bit more. Let's try this. Trying something different. The good old 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress. First time we've used it in the entire save. 88 episodes in. That's all I do. I'm a one-trick pony. Kev's changed, everybody. Push them forward. Get them involved a bit further forward, maybe. Maybe that's the key to it. Right, what have we got? Neil Young. If Neil Young is the answer, I don't want to know what the question was. Right, we've taken off our good winger. Kelleher's off. Maybe we should have gone to a diamond, although we couldn't because we only got one fit striker. Can we do a goal? Here we go. Scowen has got in behind. That's a penalty kick, surely. And a red card. There's got to be a second yellow card there. Surely. No? Right, it's a penalty. So we've got the chance to get back into the game. Who is taking the penalty? It is... Why? A 17-year-old right back who's on loan because he hits a good penalty. That's why. Never doubted him for a second. 1-1. I think that happened because all of our actual designated penalty takers were off the pitch. I think that's when it defaults to a fullback. That dates back to Championship Manager a gazillion years ago. It always used to be the fullback who took the penalties in that. Look how much higher our line is compared to theirs. I hope they don't, hit a long ball or anything. That could cause us problems. Right. Last substitution. Scowen's going to come off. Hayball's coming on. We're going to stay attacking because we need a win. 1 point out of these 2 matches isn't enough. This still leaves us 7 points behind Chester, so Accrington are now losing. That's interesting. So our win now becomes even huger than it was before because it keeps us right in the mix, and we want to be in the mix. Come on, boys. Right, Town of Folks intercepts and then does absolutely nothing with it. Encourage. Come on. Do a football. Won't. Right, there you go. Hayball. Lovely interception for him. Larkin plays it all the way. Why do we keep playing it back to the centre back? What has Wiles got on these people? He's getting so many touches of the ball. Because every highlight, the goal seems to be get it back to Wiles as quickly as possible. But why? There's no logic behind it. Look, he's got the ball again here. Attack. Come on. Right, Hayball to Edgar. Edgar plays it back to Kenny rather than the through ball for Hayball. But Young has got him behind here. Plays it across goal. Larkin's there. Oh, that's an important goal. Drop back to positive. Drop the midfielders back. Drop everything back. Just panic defend. We're 2-1 up against the best team in the league, the team that ruined our FA Cup dreams for the season. We might be about to ruin their promotion dreams straight back at them. Maybe the prophecy is coming true. Maybe the FM gods were on my side after that deal I made with them after all. And we are going to get our revenge on Chester. Cross comes in looking for Young. Can we have a cherry on top now, please? Town of Folks wins the ball back. Kenny to Young. Young's been effective since coming on. I knew he was the answer. Larkin heads it just straight up in the air and nobody knows why. It remains 2-1. It's end-to-end stuff now. Can we have the final whistle with 5 minutes to go? If the FM gods are really here to help us, this is the time for them to just step in and say, yeah, no, 7 minutes. Brilliant. We're back into the realm of last-minute conceding, are we? That we had to put up with earlier in the season. Goodness me, I hope not. I think we're going to hold on. We are going to hold on. I think Accrington actually ended up winning their game after all, but it keeps things interesting. For the neutral, they were probably the best set of results that were possible. Let's look at the league table now. So yes, we've dropped down to 5th place, but we're only 6 points behind Accrington, who are top of the league. And remember, we have a better goal difference than Accrington. Chester, who we've just beaten, we're 4 points behind them, but they have a game in hand. Our goal difference is now better than theirs as well, though. Shrewsbury were only 1 point behind, better goal difference. Level on points with Wigan, same goal difference. So it's one of us 5 is going up automatically. We are still in the conversation with quite a long time still to go. And that Wigan match, if everything stays like this, looking like a big game and probably something that can be in the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.